What up, everybody? Welcome to this Monday's live #Whimsdom session, where we are going to be talking about worst case scenario and how for a people pleaser, it is literally the thing that is in the forefront of their mind in every relationship, situation, conflict, conversation, dreams, everything. And I want to flip the script on it because y'all know I love to do that. Hey, Jen! But I want to flip the script on it and ask you guys if you've ever considered the reality. And every people pleaser bone in your body is going to want to argue me about this, but just hang in there. Hang in there. See what I have to say. But have you considered the opposite perspective that the worst case scenario is actually the second best thing that could possibly happen? The worst case scenario is actually just another really great outcome. But in a people pleaser's mind, we take the worst case scenario to the motherfucking extreme because we really think we have that much power. We really think that we have that much of an ability to control things. And it's hilarious. But we truly do believe that. Just like we really believe, our empathy has tricked us into believing we really know how people are going to react. We really know what people actually mean when they say stuff. We really know people's hidden intent. And it's just, shut up. It's just one of these ridiculous things that we trick ourselves into thinking. And it's just because our fear has developed such a good relationship with our anxiety that it allows us to comfortably saddle up on that downward spiral of, holy shit, what if? I could never put myself first in this situation because what if it goes bad? What if this person doesn't actually hear what I'm trying to say? I'll give you a few examples in just a minute. But the reason that I am bringing this to the forefront is because something that I've learned along my journeys is, like a true ninja warrior, you have to celebrate your death. My God, it sounds like my dogs are battling. You have to celebrate your death before you go into battle. So I'm sure you have all heard the phrase, today's a good day to die. If you want to walk past me, you can. Darren's like tiptoeing over here. Like, he's going to go spray the dogs. Or show them the spray bottle so that they're like, oh. So anyway, today's a good day to die. This wasn't just some sort of melodramatic thing to pump people up before they go to war. This is because the strategy of celebrating your death before you go into battle makes you battle as if you got nothing left to lose. It keeps fear and its nasty little claws off of the beauty of whatever it is that you are trying to do and accomplish. Say hi to Darren, you guys. So if we keep that in mind, we can actually apply that to the worst case scenario. Because there's always a moment in a people pleaser's life, actually there's several. There's never just one moment in your life that could change the entire trajectory of your life. There's always several. But there's always this particular one where shit's gotta change. We suddenly wake up and go, holy shit, people are walking all over me. What the fuck is going on? I have got to do something. This has got to change. We kind of get up the balls to do it, but then we overthink the conflict. We overthink the conversations that we need to have to put these changes into place. All those people that we have been over-serving our entire life, all these people that we have been showing up for time and time again, over-loving, because there is such a thing. All these people that we have been forcing our love on. All these people that we have been trying to control the experience of, trying to control their perception of us. All of these people, we are terrified when we suddenly go, I have to actually take that support away from you now. I know my whole life I've been showing up 1,010%, but I can't do that anymore. It's actually killing me on the inside. It's actually affecting every area of my life, and I have to change how I love. We are so afraid that everyone around us loves us because of the way that we have been pushing our love on them, because of the overgiving, because of the constantly putting ourselves last. We actually trick ourselves into thinking that that's the only way we can get love. So the concept of asking those people, hey, is it okay if I stop loving you the same way that I have been? No, a terrifying thought. Let me take a little sip of tea for sticking. The thought, we start thinking of the worst case scenarios. So I'm going to give you a scenario that befits a beautiful one that I just talked to recently, but also actually fits several of my clients. And I've gone through this with a lot of them, the ones that have children. And the scenario is, I put everything on hold so that I could take care of my granddaughter. I'm trying to change up the people, so it's super anonymous. But I put everything on hold so I could take care of this child because I just feel like it's my place to do it. I have to do it. It's what I have to do. But it's come to a point where, oh my God, I can't anymore. Something has to change. But I'm terrified to have that conversation because I'm terrified that my daughter will cut me out of her life. That my daughter will go, well, fuck you then. What do you mean you suddenly can't help the way you have been? I've come to expect this from you. Fuck you. And that it's just this deep down fear of being hated, being unliked, being the one that causes strife. But she knows deep down that there's something that's got to change because it's killing her. So people pleasers end up talking themselves out of necessary conflict that's going to create growth and beautiful, genuine, deep connection with those that they love because they worry about the worst case scenario. So in her case, the worst case scenario being, she's going to cut me out of her life. And she probably takes it a little bit farther than that. And then if she cuts me out of her life, then what if she gets into trouble and she's like too proud to ask me for help? And what if they die? There's always some like ridiculous end of the road worst case scenario that they like tack along to the end of it so they don't sound so dramatic. And then they end up sounding way more dramatic. So think of that situation. I asked her and so many others in my client list to think of the situation, and my goodness, can you get let me get the spray bottle, guys. I'll be right back, sorry. Stop it. Magic spray bottle. Anyway, so I've even had this type of conversation with my own mother when she kept putting it on my sister and I. I'm just afraid that if I don't do what I've always done, that this is going to happen. And the bottom line being, hidden behind that scary worst case scenario was, if you put yourself first, if you do quite possibly the most unselfish thing possible, believe it or not, just putting yourself first, you're actually doing the one thing that you're supposed to be doing for your daughter, which is showing them how to be a strong, what up, Jessica? A strong, independent, self-loving, self-valuing woman who knows how to command her worth and knows how to ask to be treated by those around her. So it's scary, yes, and the worst case scenario is always worded in the scariest way in your head because it's developed by your fear. But try to really think about it. That horrible thing that could happen, like what if that happened, you know? You settle up for that conversation, you say to yourself, today is a good day to die. The worst case scenario is my daughter tells me to kick rocks and that she never wants to talk to me again and I'm never allowed to see my grandchild again. That sounds horrifying, but what would happen in all of that? You can never control how someone's going to absorb your process and your message. You can only control what you're putting out there. And if you are putting it out there with love, you're not making it about how used you are or how people take advantage of you. Because remember, you put that shit on yourself. If you are really coming from that place of love, of I've got to step up and start putting myself first so that hopefully you can start doing the same, then that beautiful message is in that person's hands and they can do with it what they will. But you've done your part and you've actually given her the biggest gift you ever possibly could. And you're showing up and you're living proof of that message. So when I say the worst case scenario is really the second best thing that can happen, Of course, the best thing that could happen is she goes, oh my God, totally. I've been waiting for you to finally get your head out of your ass and put yourself first. Sure. I'm totally cool with whatever changes you need to make. But then the worst case scenario being she goes, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. Fuck you. I'm going to go do this on my own. She goes and learns how to be an independent woman who takes care of her child. Ooh. Ooh. That's what I mean by the worst case scenario is the second best thing that could happen. Even if it sounds scary and it's horrifying, the things that make it scary and horrifying are really have to do with your own ego. Really have to do with whether or not you are liked and loved in that situation. The best thing that can happen for someone that loves you is not that they love you. That is completely your ego talking. That is your fear of abandonment and needing to be loved. But that's not the best thing that could happen for someone you loved. Like the best thing for me and Darren, and I go into this every time we have an argument, I have to think to myself, because the worst case scenario for me being, oh, he leaves me, right? We think this in a romantic relationship. That's the worst case scenario. Then we often talk ourselves out of whatever conflicts we need to have to grow. And then I think to myself, well, if the best case scenario is that he loves me too much to leave me, what does that say about him? He loves me too much to leave me? No, I want him to be this beautiful, growing, secure person that loves himself enough to think that I am worthy of being around his love of himself and how amazing he is, because I know that's how I am. I love myself. My love for him is not actually what keeps me going. It's my love for myself and going, yes, you human, you are the one that gets to enjoy this amazing person with me. And I want him to be the same way. Individual growth. Individual passions. So thinking that the best case scenario is that someone loves and likes you, that has nothing to do with what's best for them. Which of course ends up being not what's best for you either. What's best for them is that they grow out of this situation. And the only way that you can play a part, the only way you can ever play a part in someone else's growth is by showing the fuck up and being the example yourself. So the next time you want to talk yourself out of a really scary conflict, think to yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? And then prepare yourself for it and go, today's a good day to die before you get into that conflict. And remember that that worst case scenario is actually going to be what could be best for them. It's just the what could be best for them that might not involve you. So it's a really hard pill to swallow, admitting that, oh, we're not actually the foundation of everyone's health and well-being. Ugh, blah, people pleasers, blah. It's the grossest thing ever. But that's the only reason we think it's the worst case scenario, is because it doesn't involve us. The first option, everything's gravy, everyone's happy, we are still loved. Worst case scenario, everyone hates us and they go on their own path. Super scary, but that's their own path. So it could always mean that that's actually the best thing for them. Okay? Now, all of you phoenixes that are so worried and taking my words and spinning them around, I am not saying that you are bad for someone. I am not saying that you are the toxic being in their life and you should release them. So don't go twisting my words, okay? Watch it again if you have to. I love you guys so much. If you have any questions about this worst case scenario being the second best thing that could happen philosophy, totally message me. Pop comments below, whatever you want to do. I will see you guys on Friday, because if you are new, my name is Audrey Kent, and I am your people-pleasing addiction recovery guide, and we do these live complimentary #Whimsical sessions every Monday and Friday. I love you guys. Go have an amazing rest of your night. Mwah.